Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do a mermaid tutorial for Halloween. I am taking a stocking and putting it on my head to get the scales that I'm going to have on my forehead. So I cut the legs off and I just put the top part on my head. Yes, I look like a gooferd, but I'm going to do it anyways. I tried to take this purple shadow and use it because I wanted to do purple and blue, but I think the color I was looking for was not very good. I think this elf shadow has gone south, so I decided to go with a different color. Plus I wanted something a little more creamier, and it wasn't working the way I thought I wanted to. It kind of looked black, and I didn't want it to look black. So this was my first time doing this, so I was just looking for something else to do. So I ended up deciding to go with a silver and emerald green cream shadow from Maybelline, from the new Chrome Color Tattoo. And I used a Real Technique sponge, and I used silver first, and then I ended up doing both colors, and it actually turned out really good. I actually liked it. I still look like a gooferd with this thing on my head, but I ended up really liking it once I was done. And I just took a wet Real Technique sponge. And I do have a shirt on, by the way. I mean, it looked like I have a shirt on, but I have a tube top on, so. Yes, so I do have a shirt on. And I just kept taking several applications of silver right now, and then I do go in with a emerald green, too. Because I knew I had both colors. So I first used silver because I wanted to see what it was going to look like before I put the green on there. And so this is what I'm doing right now. I pick it up to see what it's looking like, and it turned out really good. And I think having the Real Technique sponge made it a little bit easier, because I saw a lot of people use this technique and they would use shadows. But I think the cream made it easier to apply, plus with the sponge. And then I used this is the emerald green that I end up using, which makes it really look more like scales, because it has a glistening color together, both of them combined. And this stuff is like way waterproof, so if you were going to wear this for all night or to a party, it's not going to move. It's not going to go anywhere, because this stuff is very waterproof. You have to get like an oil-based makeup remover to take it off. But I just did several applications of this until I liked the way it looked. And it actually, once I take it off, it looks really good. And I ended up getting the stockings from a Halloween store that actually had them on sale for like $1.89. So I actually didn't spend that much on the stockings, and everything else I already had. The reason I say that is because I have a large makeup collection, so I just ended up using most of the products I had. And here I am straightening my hair because I wanted my hair to look nice while I was doing this tutorial. Because I ended up putting a headband on my hair kind of as a well, I do that in a minute. I actually end up taking it again and going and doing my sides of my face, kind of like I'm wearing blush or contour. I don't actually end up using blush in this tutorial. I just use the cream products as if it was coming up on my forehead and the side of my face, right where I would put blush or contour. So I ended up doing the same technique, just taking the side of it and going right there, and like where you would put your contour and highlight right in there. And taking both colors, the silver and the emerald green, on the Real Technique sponge. By the time I was done with my Real Technique sponge, I'm pretty sure I stained it with green and with silver. But I would recommend, if you're going to do this, use a sponge that you don't care about ruining, because it does stain your sponge. I didn't want to use my beauty blender. I used a Real Technique sponge, which is only about $5. And these were this one was actually, I've had it for quite some time, so I don't mind using it for that. And I turned it around and used the other side. I did not use the same side for each, I used a clean section from the stockings for each section I did, so that it wouldn't transfer product onto my skin where I didn't want it to. So this process takes quite a bit of time because I wanted it to look right before I started. I did have some foundation on. I didn't have a lot, but I had a little bit on the lower half of my face and on my forehead. I had used the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, which I always use. And I just put a small light application of that on my face. And I'm doing the same technique here, taking it and using it right where you would put your blush and contour, and using emerald green and then silver. And once I liked what I had, I just took it off and fixed my hair again because I messed it up again with that stocking. And I ended up trying to take the leg part for my shoulder because I wanted to do my shoulders too for the scale look. And when I did the top part of my head, I cut the legs off so I could put it up on my arms and use the top part of the stockings for the scale. It ended up not going up as far as I liked it to. So I tried it this first time, same application, same way with the emerald and the silver. But it didn't exactly work the way I wanted it to, so I end up cutting the foot part so I can pull it up all the way up over to my shoulder. I do try it, and it's too low down. I wanted it to be higher up on my shoulder so that you could see it. And there I take my wash off because I realized it was on my arm the whole time. It's just lower down. It wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be. So I ended up trying to take some scissors. Here is where I was talking about I put on the headband for sort of my crown for my mermaid look. So I felt like it went with the colors that I was using with the silver and emerald green together. It kind of made a bluish hue. I was looking for some scissors because I was trying to cut the end of it so I could pull it up farther than I wanted to. And that's what I end up doing. End up taking and cutting off the feet part so that way I can bring it all the way up my arm the way I want to, which is all the way up into my shoulder. And I do the same thing. I use the Real Technique sponge with the silver and emerald green from the Maybelline Color Tattoo Chrome, and then it stopped recording. So I did my shoulders, and then I went in with the Urban Decay primer for my eyelids, and I had started putting from the electric palette the turquoise shade from that and put it on my eyelid. And I just started blending it up I just used one color. I went all the way up into my crease and up almost to my eyebrows. I didn't go all the way up, but I just covered my entire eyelid with that turquoise color because that's when the silver and emerald green mixed together made a really pretty, like I said, turquoise color. And here I'm showing you my shoulders and dancing. And then I just took a clean blending brush and just blended it on each side. And more dancing. End up taking the silver, the same shade that I used, and I just put it in the inner corner of my eye, all the way up and around the outside of outer edge of the turquoise. I did that on both sides, my inner corner all the way out on my outer edge of my eye. I really wanted it to sparkle, like I wanted everything to be really shimmery and glittery. And more like, I guess not shimmery glittery, more like metallic. And I used a clean brush and I just sort of blended that together, both colors, the silver and the turquoise color from the electric palette, which I just got, and I actually love. Here I'm using the Maybelline Dark Erase concealer to put under my eyes because I hadn't used any concealer. Like I said, I barely put any foundation on my face, just a little bit to cover up blemishes because the scales covered up most of my face other than just like my cheeks and my chin. And then I just took a flat kabuki brush and am blending out my concealer. Because I really wanted that area to kind of be brightened and conceal my dark circles. Because I am going to highlight in a minute with... I'm using the Wet n Wild new highlighter that they just launched because I couldn't find my Becca Opal that I was looking for. So I ended up deciding just to use that. And I was looking for my fan brush, still couldn't find that. So I ended up deciding just to use my fingers, which worked just as fine. And all I'm doing is just taking that highlighter and putting it on the high points of my cheek. I don't use any blush. All I use is this highlighter just so that I have a little bit of shimmer and shine. Shimmer and shine. Yeah, just some shimmer on my face. And I'm doing my Cupid's bow and down the bridge of my nose with the same highlighter. And I'm taking the Stila lip gloss and putting it on my lips. It was just a natural color. I'm putting it on my upper lip and my lower lip. So I'm going to take the turquoise color from the electric palette and use it to make it match my eyes and what is on my face. And I'm just going to put that on my lips as my lipstick because I didn't have a blue lipstick or a green lipstick, so I decided that I was going to use that just so everything matched and everything blended together. I do get some of it on my lower lip, but I end up cleaning that up with a makeup remover. And I'm making a mess as always, because I dropped my palette. I was thankful that it didn't break. And here I am cleaning that well. I cleaned up that, and then I'm doing my eyebrows with the e.l.f. brow pomade in light brown. I just use a flat brush. I'm not even using an angle brush, and I'm not doing very defined brows. I'm just basically outlining my natural brow because I have very bold eyes, and I just want to accentuate my brows, but I don't want them to outshine my eyes. I tell you, my hair got messed up, I think, several times in this tutorial, just for the fact that I was trying to keep it nice. Still cleaning up that eyeshadow. It was a beautiful color, but it did go a little bit crazy. And then I did want to use lashes, but I didn't have the lashes I wanted to use ended up not working out, so I didn't actually have lashes, so I just used my eyelash curler and my mascara. I used the Konac bottom lash. Oh no, that's the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel. I did use that to set my brows. And I'm going to use the Becca Opal for more highlight. I wanted a liquid highlighter to make it pop just a little bit more. I did like that Wet n Wild highlighter, but I wanted to go a little more overboard in this tutorial. So I just did a little bit extra. So I ended up using the Maybelline mascara. And just coating my lashes from the very bottom all the way up to the top. So like I said, I did want to use lashes, but the lashes I wanted to use were no good. They were from the Wet n Wild collection that they just released, and they were not. No. I've used Wet n Wild lashes before, and they actually usually are pretty good, but those were crap. So I ended up not using them. But definitely if you were going to do a look like this, lashes would be, you know, just appropriate if you would want to do lashes. I was looking for my Clinique bottom lash to do on my lower lash, and I believe I put it on my upper lash too. I love this mascara. It's the best mascara ever. For lower lashes, upper lashes, and it's the high-end mascara I buy most of the time. See, I did have a shirt on, I promise. I went in with the stocking again and did a little bit more on my shoulder, this one, because I felt like the other shoulder was covered more than this one, so I wanted to do a little bit more of the green and the silver. I continually lost things in this tutorial. But I just put it on the sponge and went back over that section again one more time. I really wanted to make this look nice, and it was my first tutorial this in depth and this much product and time. And I ended up really liking the end result once it was done. And I ended up setting my face with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray. I go a little crazy with my setting spray. And then I end up using the Duo eyelash glue adhesive to put some gems on my forehead. This is optional, but I just wanted to do it for the fun of it. I ended up was going to do 4, but I just ended up doing 3. And I just put a dot of glue on each backside of the gem, and then I ended up putting it on my forehead. I was going to use a tweezers, so that's why I showed them to you, but I didn't end up using the tweezers. And one of them I ended up putting a little too much glue. This did work, but I would probably try, it did work. It stuck them on my face. I don't think it would hold them like a whole long time, but it worked temporarily. I don't think it would stay on your forehead like the whole night, probably. But I didn't want to use any other kind of glue. Yeah, I was going to do 4, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I ended up doing 3. That's the end, guys. Thanks for watching.